pandemic, we have been truly fortunate to have people in our community step up and help others. Today, we are joined by one of those people, Kyle, the owner of Leonardo's Millhopper.
At Florida Credit Union, banking is built on relationships, supported by friendly service and expert advice. FCU members get it. Competitive rates on business and real estate loans for companies big and small. Florida Credit Union, member owned, community proud.
Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So for those that haven't had the pleasure of coming and eating at your fabulous restaurant, tell us a little bit about Leonardo's.
Leonardo's been around since 1976. It's a family-owned and operated restaurant. I purchased it 3 years ago now, and we're doing our best to keep everybody employed and stay involved in the community and keep providing the same level of service and quality of food that we've become famous for.
And I mean, yes, the food is always, always fantastic. And Leonardo's is such a prevalent name in our community and has been for years. But I would say I have heard much more about Leonardo's throughout the pandemic due to the fact that you have been such a giver during these times. Can you talk a little bit about the different ways you've helped others?
Sure. We started right from the beginning. It's been almost a year now that we're into this. And one of the things that we noticed is that our first responders or nurses, and the night shift nurses too, I saw were the ones that were being left out. So there were a handful of times when we went to North Florida Regional Hospital and also to Shands to deliver pizza and donate food to these people that were working so hard and put themselves on the front line of taking care of everybody else. And we thought, why don't we kind of pitch in and try to take care of them a little bit? So there's 5 or 6 times where we delivered pizzas to the hospitals just to show our goodwill and our thankfulness for their effort. We also had some corporate sponsors, some companies and some private citizens that came that once they saw what we were doing, they wanted to get involved too. And paid for the food themselves. So that was pretty neat to help to kind of get the ball rolling and get that started. And from there, other people got involved. And it was a really neat way for the community to outreach. And it was fun for us to be able to start that thing going.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people want to participate and want to give, but really aren't sure where to start. So I'm sure you helped people out with that.
We're very active on our social media accounts, on our Facebook and Instagram accounts, and people saw the activity that we were participating in. And you're right, they wanted to, they all reached out to me and said, I want to help out too. And so it helped us to not only, what we could do as an individual business, but when more people joined in, it helped to make an even bigger impact in the community.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times people tend to forget that obviously our businesses have been affected throughout this pandemic, but our nonprofits have really been affected as well. And I know that you helped out a couple of our nonprofits too.
We did. We've done, in a few ways. We did a big fundraiser for Pace Center for Girls. It was a gift card drive that we did. So we donated 50 cents on every dollar for gift cards that people purchased in a 1 week time. And we were able to generate a little over $2,000 to donate to them. Mm-hmm. And that was exciting. And then also we've still tried to continue with our Spirit Day fundraisers. So not as big of a scale, but we've done for numerous school groups and sports clubs, chess club, and the Gainesville Youth Orchestra, the youth chorus. So we've done about 10 or 15 other fundraisers where we've generated another, about $5,000 or so in money that we've been able to raise through sales through the restaurant. And again, it's another way for the community to get involved through us, for a vehicle to help other people get involved. And it's pretty neat. It's fun for us to sponsor. It helps us be a part of the community and provide opportunities that, during these times, it's really hard for these groups to have their usual fundraisers. So it's been fun for us to be able to step up and provide a revenue source for them.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, this is not the first time that you all have given to the community. I mean, for years, Leonardo's has been a name in the community. And obviously, when you stepped forward as the new owner, you really continued that community involvement aspect, maybe even more so.
It's always been a part of my business plan. I've had other restaurants before, and being a part of the community is really important to me. I have this pretty cool life that I have. I own Leonardo. Sometimes it's 3 years now that I've been doing it, and sometimes it still freaks me out. Like I'm like, wow, this place that I've been coming to, that I took my kids when they were little, and they're 22 and 18 now, and to think that I sit in my booth and I'm like, I own this place. It's pretty cool. So why not be able to share that? Why wouldn't I use this as a vehicle to help provide for other people that aren't as fortunate as I am? It's just kind of part of who I am, and as someone that loves to be involved and loves to share this happiness that I have. It's just kind of what I do.
And I think it really showcases, how much you love and care about this community.
The more that we're involved, and what I've found over the years is that the more we do, the more we get back. So it's obviously rewarding on its own just to be able to participate in the community. Mm-hmm. But then when it turns around and people come in and say, I saw what you did for this, or saw what you did for that, I saw your advertisement on the radio show, I saw you sponsor a podcast, at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, all of those things, come back around and eventually help the business. And I really do think that it's one of the things that's pulled us through this past year, is that people know what an important part of the community that Leonardo's is, and people have come out to support us and give us their business. And it's definitely come around for us, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. People see, that you're giving, and they want to support that. And I think that that's incredible. And obviously it's difficult for many to be able to give, especially during a pandemic. And I think it's amazing that you, like I said before, truly stepped up and, gave even amidst some difficult times. But we are so happy to see you succeed and push through. And I think 2021 will be a great year for you guys.
I sure hope so. I can't pretend that the year has not been without its challenges. Mm-hmm. For what we've done, honestly, in 2020, I had bigger plans to do even more things, and I think a lot of us did too. It's just that we're hamstrung by the situation that we're in. So hopefully, as I'm going to say when instead of if, when things start to clear back up, and we're able to generate the kind of revenue that we were doing in 2019 and building upon that, our efforts will be able to step up even more.
Yeah. I mean, and I think people need to always remember that you have wonderful, wonderful takeout options, even if people aren't comfortable coming and sitting inside. Those garlic knots and that pizza is just as good via takeout as it is in person.
Our takeout business has been really strong. And one of the things about our food is that it stays warm for a long time. So it's still going to be tasty no matter where you go, whatever distance you're driving. When you get home, it's still going to be really good.
Oh, yeah.
For delivery. But you're right. We do a lot of curbside orders. People will call and give us their credit card number over the phone. We'll bring it out, run it right out to your car, put it in your trunk or in the back of your van. And so we can be as contactless as you want. If you want to come in, and we let one person in the takeout lobby at a time. It's kind of a confined space. And we're only running 6 tables. We usually have 17 or 18 tables available inside the restaurant. We maximize at 6 right now, so there's plenty of space in between each table. And so we're real careful, and we try to protect my staff most of all. It would be devastating if one of us did contract the virus. So I am super protective of our staff, and our managers are trained to make sure that our customers are treating our staff with the respect that they need.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we're protecting the customers too. We keep the dining room as clean as we can. We're bleaching the tables after every person. We bleach our menus after anybody touches them. We have ultraviolet lights, antivirus lights that we use all the time as well. So we're taking every step we can inside the restaurant to be as careful as we can be and still provide the kind of service and so building relationships with each person as they come in. That's, for me, that's the fun part of owning the restaurant.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, my favorite part is that your portions are so large that I always have leftovers the next morning, or for lunch.
Right. Yes. But please order again. Very much appreciated. Yes.
Leftovers are always a good thing. But thank you for coming on our segment today. Like I said, you have been a great giving part of our community over the years, especially during the pandemic, and I'm sure for many years to come. So we appreciate you, and we know that together we are so much stronger than we are individually. So thank you for being a great part of Gainesville.
Thanks, Julian. Thanks for having me. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you again to Florida Credit Union for being the presenting sponsor of our All-In GNV Pivot Series. And thank you again to our speaker sponsor, Cox Business. Also, thank you to our annual sponsors and our Circle of Champions and our media partners who help underwrite this program.